So let's talk for a minute about fun things that you can do with chords. Right now I've got my amp clean, and I'm using this Steinberger with the pickups set to the neck and middle position. So it's got the split coil on the neck position and the single coil on the middle position. So it gives you that like nice Strat type sound, a nice clean glassy type sound. So here's a regular, just a good old E major chord. So that's an open on the first string, that's nothing there. Then you're fretting the second note on the second string, the second note on the third string, first note on the fourth string. So let's take that and move it to a different position. So if we listen to the first three notes, okay, so that we can actually grab here. Now if we do that, we can actually do a power chord up here instead, using a root of that E chord. And I call it a root because for me that's the way that I understand music. A chord is sort of the root, so that's part of the root. I don't know music theory, I just know sort of what to me sounds good or what to me sounds dissonant. So this has a nice sound, so I can actually turn that note into the root of a power chord up here, and so now I have a different voicing of an E chord. And if I want to change that around a little bit, I can actually make this note here, this ninth fret on the third string, the root of another chord. So I can sort of make it a triplet here, or a triple chord. So there's that original E, there's that second chord, and there's that new chord. So now all of a sudden it becomes this whole other thing. And then, all right, I feel like it needs something on the top end, so you can just sort of... So that's how I come up with arpeggios. So I just kind of mess around with a chord, and then I figure out what sounds good, and then I kind of... Now on this, I could just kind of take the whole chord structure and slide it down. Oops. And these sorts of weird chords are really good for like getting your fingers to flex more than they're used to as well. So that's a good way to come up with interesting chords that you can turn into arpeggios that you can then solo over. So something that I do is I just come up with those, but I'll base it on like, so that's sort of rooted in E, and then I can do you know, like a minor scale in E and you know, make that into a solo, or I can even just kind of do some, you know, major stuff. And so, you know, you just need to find the solo voicing that works for those weird chords. But sometimes there are weird chords that just sort of lend themselves to great arpeggios. So like another one is if you take a D and you drop the top off of it, you know, you get... another, you know, nice chord example would be... do something low here. That's actually from Love Is On The Way by Saigon Kick. The point is, if you drop off and play open strings in here, or if you move stuff around, you can get some really cool harmonies within those chord structures. So another one, that's actually a song that I am working on writing right now. So you can just take that simple structure and move it down. So the point is, when you're messing around with arpeggios, play around with the fretboard, find notes, root notes that work for you, like base something in E so that you know that it's going to be easy to solo off of, and it's really easy to sort of, you know, stay on track in terms of a major scale or a minor scale. Easy to come back to it if you kind of wander off. You can change it into a bluesy type thing, but depending on the chords themselves, something might be dramatic and it might need a better mode for you to play in. But play around with that. Find some different chords and just you know, just pick them out. You know, play them as arpeggios instead of playing them as chords, and then you can have some really great stuff to turn around and solo over. And yeah, you'll never get bored.